Hello, everyone. It's the interview queen, Alicia Atout here, and I am so excited to welcome you all to my interview with Kevin Levrone. Hello.
Hi, how are you,
I'm doing well. How are you
Alicia?
doing? How are you
I'm
holding up
doing
with
good. Yeah,
on?
it's very, very hot outside. Other than that, it's good. Everything is good. So, yeah.
It's been exciting to see what you've been up to because you are very vocal and you share a lot online with all of your fans who follow you, and you're still training as intense as ever right now, as a part of
hmm
your anniversary transformation this year. So, is there some sort of end goal to all of this, or are you simply staying in shape for the day-by-day health reasons?
Yeah, people keep asking me, what's the drive? What's the purpose? I always say, I think for this whole quarantine to come out of it uh, without something like gain for yourself or a gift to yourself would be like just a total disaster. Sitting home and being stagnant because I'm so used to traveling around the world. So finally, I'm in this one place at home, for like 3 months and trying to, keep your sanity, right? So for me, it's like, I really can't travel overseas. I can't go to the countries where I want to, where I feel like, I had completely canceled my whole schedule. So I'm sitting around and I'm thinking, you know what? This is the 50th year anniversary for my nutritional supplement company. And how can I celebrate it? Because my office is over in Poland. All my workers are over there. I can't go over there. I said, so you know what? I'm just going to do an anniversary transformation for myself, you know, and to give something to myself, to like pat myself on the shoulders. And I just urge everyone to like do that, find a time to like, take for yourself and do something for yourself because, we're constantly always just giving and giving and giving. I mean, even you're always working and your mind is always going out, right? But
All
we
the time.
never like say, hey, what about that person in the mirror? What have I done for that person lately in the midst of all the chaos? So, you know, I just put it in neutral, put it in park, and took this opportunity to give myself a reality check. And I said, you know what? It's time for me to think about myself during this downtime. And so that's what I did. You know.
Other than working out and keeping up on that aspect of your life to give time to yourself, has there been anything else you've been doing at home and while we can't travel that has been more so something that
Yeah,
you weren't able to do because you were always go, go, go,
music.
which
I
I've been
love my
seeing a lot
music.
of.
Yeah, spending some time in the studios, coming up with some new music, some new lyrics, stuff like that. Getting in touch with the that creative side. And I haven't done anything with music in about 2 years. So just getting in the studio, letting those the creative side flow. You know what I mean? So yeah.
When it does come to the singing aspect, did it take you a while to discover that you actually had this fantastically smooth, lovely voice, or did it actually come a little bit
Mm,
later once you had all the success in bodybuilding and you realized this is
yeah.
a passion of mine,
Um,
let's go after it?
I noticed that people say, well, you have a certain tone to your voice or whatever. I I don't know. I would just like sing in the shower. You know what I mean? Like sing in the shower, and I don't know. It's just. I think I just started like doing a little bit of karaoke like that, and people were like, "Wow, you sound good." I'm like, "Wow, really? Okay, cool." So it was just fun, something that just was fun, and I just connected some emotions with some poems that I had wrote, from traveling around the world, things that I saw in different countries and everything from traveling with bodybuilding. So I had all these thoughts and my ideas in my mind, right? So I had to get it out. So I started writing poems. And from poems, I started hearing like certain melodies, you know, coming into your head when you like see something. I'm like, oh, okay. So it kind of like the thoughts, got them down on paper, the poetry, and then melodies started coming. And I said, you know what? This probably could be a song. So I just, songs started coming to me like that. And I got together with some musicians that I had knew because I would always go out and watch bands and everything, local musicians around Annapolis and Baltimore. And I would always go to pubs and I would just sit and chill, after working out in the gym, and I would sit there and then I would, once in a while, I would jam with them, because I could play drums and guitar and piano. So I started jamming and stuff. And we got together and just made an album and started producing some music and some tunes. So that's how it all started. 2002, I think. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
incredible that you've been able to keep that going now, especially posting the songs online. I'll be
Because
scrolling on Instagram and I just see
it's
you there
like,
with your microphone. I'm like, yes,
yeah,
knock
it's
another
like
one out.
Alicia, the fans, they like, we want the music, we want some music. We want something like, oh man. I'm like, I'm not really famous for my music, but I'll give you some more music. So that's just kind of like, I kind of stumbled across that, you know. Um, but I could always just play instruments from just picking them up, and so that talent was there. Um, just a hobby though, So
I like how you downplay it as just a hobby, but it looks like you have like a legitimate setup and you were in a band for quite some time. You had a record out. Just a hobby though.
mm, yeah,
Well,
So
obviously nutrition and eating habits are a huge part and aspect of your life. So I was curious, during your time in quarantine, what have been some of
mm,
your favorite things to make or eat at home? I know it definitely won't be red meat or steak. I know
how do
that's
you
not
know
a,
that?
I do my research.
Oh wow, yeah, I'm not that steak guy, definitely. Um, for quarantine, oh man, you come off your diet during that time, you know, and that's another reason why I had to get into the transformation too, right? Because I was like just eating anything and everything. I think we probably all did for a while,
Yeah.
I mean, ice cream, some pizza,
It was a bit
just
of a dark
everything.
time towards the
Yeah,
beginning.
right. Nobody's gonna see me, so I can just fall off the wagon and do whatever I want. But now I've kind of got things back in check. Um, having my little proper meals, proper protein, my fish, my boring carbohydrates, and the boring bodybuilding diet and all that stuff. So right now it's just strict and boring. Boring. I
Boring.
think I think
But
last
it
night I
works
might have
for
had
you.
some. I think last night I had some ice cream though.
Okay.
So mhm.
Mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So just a little. Yeah,
Well, what's a little to you? Because I'm curious when I always
a
think of
bowl,
proportion.
like a bowl of ice cream,
Okay.
because I don't like a lot of sweets. So a bowl of ice cream is good. That'll do me well. I'll sleep good when I have that. So.
Sugar tends to just knock you out, doesn't it? Or just ice cream in general. There's something about it.
Yeah, something about it, right? Something about it. Put on a good movie, nice movie, like some snacks,. Some Doritos.
You're speaking my language.
I know, right? I love Doritos, man. Like Doritos and some chips and dip. Uh,
Now we're just now we're just sitting here
yeah.
thinking about our cravings.
What's your
Oh,
favorite? What's your favorite food?
ooh, I mean, I am a steak and potatoes kind of girl, so I know that
Mm.
steak's definitely not on your plate, but that's one of my favorite things. And then I'm with you on the Doritos, but instead of doing the normal nacho Doritos, I do the Cool Ranch ones. Those ones
Oh
are next
yeah,
level.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have those. We have a whole collection of everything. So
you got to
yes,
keep it on hand.
yeah.
Well, you had shared something incredibly inspirational the other day, which really caught my eye and actually got me fairly emotional. And it was how
Really?
you had that dream of meeting Arnold and winning the Arnold Classic, and how you busted your
Hmm.
chops to make it happen, and then the dream came true. So I was curious, have you always believed in mind over matter, or did something
Yes.
you have? Okay.
You know, Alicia, my father died when I was 10 years old. He had cancer, right?
Yeah.
And I think my father used to take me to school and pick me up every day. And one day I had to walk to the bus stop because his back was hurting him. And my mother said, "Well, you're going to have to walk to the bus stop, Kevin. Your father's back is hurting." So I walked to the bus stop, and he used to pick me up. And he didn't pick me up that day from school. So I came home. He wasn't there. And about 3 weeks later, he passed away, buried my father on Christmas Eve. So that was the first funeral that I've ever went to. My first encounter with like life being so happy and then life being so, uh, painful. Um, that was tough. And then this relationship between me and God, right? Somehow God got my attention when that had happened. So I started seeking in here, inside my soul, inside my spirit. And, why do things happen? Why do people live and die? Why do kids die young? Why are people murdered? Why? So I had all these questions for God, and I used to ask my mother, "Well, Mom, if God is so good, then why did He take Daddy?" So there was a lot of unanswered prayers, for me. And my mother told me something. She says, "Kevin, never question God because He always knows what He's doing." And I said, "Really? Okay." And I never did. But I continued to search within myself and always believe. And I think I always believed and I wanted a better day tomorrow. I wanted to feel happy again, and I wanted, just to take the pain away. So I just started reading a lot of books on the mindset, the psyche, how the brain works. Mind over matter, where the mind goes, the body will follow, and all these things. So um, I got into that philosophy. Uh, that led me into the martial arts philosophy of Bruce Lee. He's a great. I don't know if you know about Bruce Lee, but he's a great philosopher, right?
Yes.
I mean, talk about the power of the mind. So that gave me the strength to just look within myself and apply these techniques in my moments of solitude, moments of tranquility, and just to see, right? Experiment and see. And I found that I would find strength when I would just constantly believe things, visualize things in my brain, see things happening ahead of time, right? Um, this sort of meditation, and I led into the gym, and I started going into the gym, and I would say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to set this goal one day. My goal when I first went to the gym was one day I want to bench press 315 pounds. But of course, I was a kid. I mean, I could only bench press 135. But eventually, I hit that 315. Not once, but eventually, I could do it 10 times. And it's just like so many things happen like that in my life, and little examples where I was like, man, you really can almost do anything in the world as long as you're not hurting anyone else, as long as you're really truly focusing and tapping into the things that you believe in, and everything. I said, man, I want to be a professional bodybuilder. And I was living in Maryland. There was no bodybuilders in Maryland. I was the only professional. I was the only one to ever turn pro here. And there was no directions on how to do this. Everybody's like, you got to move to California. And I was like, well, I don't have to move to California. All I have to do is believe in myself and be good, right?
I love
And that
that.
happened, you know. Then when I turned pro, I ended up competing in the Mr. Olympia. My first Olympic, I got second. then I just went on and just everything started happening. And I ended up with one of the best records in professional bodybuilding history. But the crazy thing is, I tore my chest, tore my pectoralis major and minor, snapped my tendon in half. It broke. Devastating injury. It's like a football player tearing Achilles tendon, you know? There's no return after that. Well, that happened to me, um, Alicia, and that happened to me after I got second at my first Mr. Olympia. So, and no bodybuilder had never came back from that injury. Never, ever. And if they did and they competed, they never looked the same. Their muscles were deformed, you know, because you tore it, your chest. By the grace of God, I don't know what happened, but I came back. I had 3 months to train. I was in a partial body cast. I lost 40 pounds of muscle. My whole right body had atrophied. It went down to like nothing. And I was competing the following year. I was 240. Well, my body went down to 212. And I had to figure out how to eat, how to train, how to do everything all over again. And I only had 3 months to get ready for the Mr. Olympia. Wow, it was crazy. Because I didn't work out in 7 months, right? Nothing. My whole
It's a
body,
lot
because I
for
was
your
in a
body
partial
to get
body
used
cast. It's crazy. I came back somehow by the grace of God and mind, psyche, da, 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 da. And I ended up getting fifth at the Olympia. And I says, wow, if I can do that, then I can do anything if I'm healthy, right? With a healthy mind. I said, okay, this is cool. So Arnold came to me, and that's when, you know, I was
to.
like, that's my superstar right there, you
Yeah,
know. And I
no
got the
big
phone
deal.
call, you know, Levrone, come and do my show. I was like, wow, okay. Not only am I going to do the show, but I have to win the show because I want to get into the movies. At this time, you know, Arnold was Terminator. He was the man. I was like, I have to leave an impact on him. So, you know, here I am having these dreams and having these visions. And I had 6 months to prepare. And I went and I competed. And the only way that I could get Arnold's attention was if I won his show. So I won the show. And I said, Anna, oh my God, how do I ask Arnold? How do I get into acting? So I was so afraid. I was like, uh-oh, okay. So, you know, he came out, he gave me the trophy. And I'm looking like, okay, yeah, I won the show. So we had dinner. Like if the champions who win the show, you have dinner with Arnold that night. You do a seminar with Arnold the next day.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, this is like the moment for me.
The opportunity.
So yeah, but listen, I couldn't wait for the dinner and I couldn't wait for the seminar next day. As soon as I won a show and I was walking backstage off stage, I saw him standing there and I said, Arnold, I said, can you help me? Can you help me with something? And he says, what is it? And I said, I want to know how to get into movies. I want to know how to get into movies. I want to be an actor like you, right? That's all I could think about. And I had like 2 minutes to just get it out because they were pushing
Yeah.
him and they were pushing me for
You're
photo shoots.
you're
And
just saying it as quickly as
he's like,
possible.
don't worry. I'll have my people contact you. And, you know, Alicia, I'm thinking, yeah, right. That ain't going to happen. So weekend ends. I fly back to Baltimore. 3 weeks go by. I go into my gym, and there's a message there. So one of my managers at the gym, she says, Kevin, you got a message here. Arnold's secretary called. And I says, really? Wow.
No.
Hey,
I've never
listen.
heard this story ever. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
He didn't forget about what he had said. He's a man of his word. And I called that office and he says, Kevin, Arnold wants to know what your schedule is in the next 2 weeks because he wants to bring you out on the movie set to spend 3 days with him on the movie set filming End of Days. I was like, wow. Talk about visualization. Right? Everything came true. So I went out there. I spent 3 days with him, and he told me everything that I needed to know about the industry. And then this is when, after I retired from bodybuilding, I went and did a few movies and a couple films out in California as well. So it's been great.
I love that. It's been great. That's absolutely incredible. You have one dream, and then who would have thought that it could just ricochet so easily? Because you not only put in the time and effort, but you also were just willing to ask and see what would come out of things. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a wonderful, beautiful thing. It's just like how before, we started recording here, you were kind of asking me the history of my site. And it's one of those things when I started reaching out to bodybuilders, I was thinking to myself, I don't know who's going to say yes. I don't know who's going to give me their time of day.
Mm.
But I went out there and asked, and look at us here, It's one of those
Awesome.
really
Yeah.
wonderful
That's
things.
that's
So,
how it works. Yeah.
man, that is so
Definitely.
inspirational. That's incredible.
Hmm. You know, when you ask someone a question like, "Hey, can you help me with something?" They don't say no. They're like, you get their attention with that question. It's like, "Oh, well, what's going on? Like, what do you need?" You know?
Right.
You say, "Oh, I need. Can you help me with something?" You're not going to say no because you don't even know what I'm asking about, right? So that kind of like opened the door up for that opportunity. So if there's somebody out there listening, don't be afraid to ask.
Ask for help. I'm gonna keep a
Yeah.
little note. That's a good
Hey,
that's a good sentence.
the worst thing could happen is, you're still going to be in the same situation. But if you don't, everything could change.
Right.
So
Uh, that's incredible. Well, I really do want to say thank you so much for taking the time to come on here, for replying to my message, asking if you'd come on.
thank you. You're
It's been
welcome.
absolutely lovely having you, so thank you a ton.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been an honor. Anytime.
Thank you.
Good luck, okay?
Thank you, everybody. This has been the awesome Kevin Levrone. I'm the interview queen, Alicia Atout. Be sure to check out aliciaatout.com for all exclusive interviews and features, and we will see everybody next time. Bye, everyone.
Peace.